and welcome to another episode of Friends, Food, and Relationships. What I'm going to talk about today is something that happened to me, something I did, not something that happened to me. Okay, for those of you that don't know, I am a amateur radio operator and also a volunteer examiner for American Radio Relay League. So, why I'm talking about this today? I was letting you know some different things about my life and things that I do outside of podcasting. What I'm talking about today is I've been doing it since before COVID, and it's a long time I've been doing it. So I was doing things. I worked through COVID. I worked a lot at home, away from home, and I started doing them from home. Now it's easy because you can go and do things from home using Zoom meeting, and we have tools and we do that. So at one point I wondered how many exam sessions I had done. At 100 exam sessions, which I surpassed, we can request a certificate. It's nice. It's a beautiful certificate in the wall. So what I did is I requested that, and it was hard to get. It was hard to find. It was hard to get because I had to email this person, and etc. etc. So I asked my exam lead Ryan, get it for me. So he requested it, and the exam lead, the manager of the American Radio Relay League, asked him whether she should send it to me or he wanted to do it. So he did. He brought it, took it. He got sent it to him, and they had gone to So he told me, hey, "Can you make it to a meeting?" I said, "Sure, no problem." I went with my mom. My mom supported me. We went. I picked up the certificate, and it's expected. And that's a milestone that not many people reach. It took me longer than I wanted to because I had at one point during that time, I had a health concern, and I had to take 3-4 weeks off, just not doing anything, just go home because my health is first. So it's interesting how nice it is to sit there, and finally to me, these things are not about recognition. Okay, I say they're not recognition. It's something I do because I want to, but a nice thank you from an organization is always appreciated. It is. So it's interesting how. And let me tell you, I started doing amateur radio exam testing because when I took my exam, I found that there was nobody like me. I'm disabled. Nobody like me. So I was a little nervous. So when I got the opportunity to do it, I started to do it. I have one thing in my life. I don't ask people to do things that I'm not willing to do. I don't make work for people unless I want to work, unless I start to work. Okay, so I was going to an organization that's no longer up. So the lead person was saying to the leader of that group, he was an examiner, so we were talking about as a group, we were talking about doing exams. So I went to him and I said, "What do I do? What do I have to do to become one?" He says, all I want to work with is extras so that we can sign all the paperwork. I said, okay. So I went ahead. we start as technicians, and then we upgraded our license to general, and then extra. Then after that, we not after. Let me make it clear. You don't have with the American Radio Relay League. I don't know with the other ones, but with the American Radio Relay League, you can become an examiner at level of general. So it means that you can only sign technician exams. So that's why he wanted to work at that point. So in turn, when you get your general license, when you get your general upgrade, I'm not going to call it a license because your license is when you first get your call sign. Your call sign is a series of numbers and letters that we use to identify ourselves on amateur radio. So I went ahead and I took my general and my extra quickly. I took it quickly, and after that, I did the open book exam to become a amateur radio examiner. So that's my history of how I became an amateur radio examiner and how I do things. With that, thank you for listening.